Hello, beautiful humans. So, today I really want to talk about creativity. It's another thing that is so close to my heart. It's something I've always been passionate about. My personal belief is that we're all creative. Every human being has the ability to create. And I've definitely bumped into a few people who say, "Oh, I'm not creative. I can't do anything creative." And I get that. I know it can be challenging. And some people may not be specifically good at painting, but there's so many ways that we can be creative. It's not just painting. Maybe we prefer different mediums. Like you can use fine tip pens if you like details, or chalk pastels to get more abstract, or there's so many different mediums we can use, and not just when we talk about drawing or painting or making a picture, but there's so many other forms of creativity, even with art itself. I mean, you could make a sculpture, you could make it out of concrete, out of clay, out of so many different mediums, or you could do batik with hot wax and dyes, or you could make mosaics with crushed up tiles and grout, screen printing, flax weaving, so many mediums, jewelry making. I mean, I could just go on and on just within art. Carving, there's so many forms of art. But then what about music? Music is also creativity. Every musician is using creativity to express something. And then there's other forms like poetry or creative writing, creativity can come in so many different ways. And then even just aside from that, isn't the way we dress being creative as well? Or just the very way that we move through our life is also a form of creativity. We're constantly creating in every single moment. So, yeah. One of my explorations through my creativity has been, first of all, recognizing that I need to get out of my own way. So if I'm sitting down with a blank piece of paper, for example, there can be so many different choices. Like, what, I could do anything, and that can be overwhelming. What do I even want to draw or create? And often when we try and use our mind, our consciousness, to work out what we're doing, it can be really confusing. It can be overwhelming. It can be difficult. And it can be easy to just give up and say, well, I don't feel creative today, so I'm not going to do anything. But part of what I've been exploring is how to get out of my own way and allow the inspiration to come through me. When I sit back and open myself up to the universe and ask for inspiration. What should I draw today? Maybe I could do a little meditation and close my eyes and just get into a really grounded, calm, relaxed, centered state. And then spend some time asking the universe for inspiration. And I may get an image. I think, great, that's what I'm going to create. Or there just may be some kind of inspiration that comes through from that. So I think part of what I believe creativity is that we actually open ourselves up as an instrument in a way to bring through something from a higher source. It may be our higher wisdom, our higher intelligence, our higher self, or it may be from the universe, like channeling. And there's always something that we can channel if we just get out of the way and allow the wisdom of the universe, allow the intuition to move through us, and then creativity can flow. When we really step out of our mind and out of the way and let nature inspire us. You know, nature's actually the best creator of all, and most of my, if not all of my art is inspired by nature. You know, when you look at the patterns that the wind can make on the sand, or the snow can make on the mountains, or the ripples in the water, and it's just incredible what nature can create. And we are nature too. So when we really allow ourselves to just let that nature create through us, then magic can occur. And I guess it's really the mind that gets in the way, not just trying to think about what to do, how to do it, but the other, I guess, pattern that I've noticed really strongly when it comes to creativity is the pattern of perfectionism, where there's a part of me that just wants whatever I'm creating to be perfect. And I mean, that's just part of our human design, isn't it? That we want to do well. We want to do amazing things. We don't want to show someone something that we don't really like and say, hey, this is what I created. We want it to look good. But that perfectionism can really get in the way, in a way that can, you know, create creator's block, they call it. Or just we can get upset with what's in front of us because it's not the image that we initially had in our head, and it can steal the joy out of it and make it really challenging. And often we may get to a place where we want to give up. We just go, nah, it's not what I wanted, it's not what I had in mind, so I'm just going to give up. But if you just wait, maybe you need to take a little break, have a cup of tea, and again, tune into nature and allow inspiration to come through you again. You'll find a solution. And this is where creativity becomes such an incredible life practice. Because in life, things happen that we have to face. Things don't always work out how we want. And we have to work out how to navigate that. We have to find a solution. That's just how life is. And so it's a really great way to learn how to problem solve. And so when we can really tune into our intuition, when we get past the part of ourselves that's annoyed that it went wrong or something was a mistake, then we can find clarity. It's like we can have an aha moment and go, oh, I know, I'll just fix it with something else. I'll put something else over top of it. I've had this before, sewing and making clothes or a bag and making it too small, and then, oh no, what do I do? So you can just add some extra fabric somewhere and make it bigger, and that bit of fabric might actually be the piece that makes it an extraordinary piece of art, because it's a different color and shape and pattern, and all of a sudden you've transformed it into something that's beyond what you would have done if you hadn't made that mistake. So in a way, it's our mistakes that actually can transform our art into something even beyond what we could have imagined in the first place, something even more beautiful. And usually that's how it ends up for me. It's usually the mistakes that make it golden. And I really love that Japanese art, I forgot what it was called, where when there's a broken pottery, they fix it with gold, and it's the gold that makes it valuable, So when we can see that the broken bits are the bits that are valuable, then we can use it as an opportunity to turn it into something different. And I think it really comes down to our ability to tune into our intuition and to stay in touch with the inspiration that comes from nature. Whether it takes closing your eyes and going inside and just being with what's there and allowing the answers to come to us. So I think we're all creative beings, because nature is creative and we are nature. And I think there's something so beautiful about stepping into that space of allowing the creativity to come through us. Even dancing is creative. It's allowing chi or source or spirit to move through your body, or the music to move through your body, and your body follows the music, and it's creating something new. So what are the ways that you like to create? What are your favorite ways of creating and expressing yourself? And I think this is part of what I love the most about creativity. It's a way to express what often words cannot convey. Words are so limiting. Especially our English language is so limiting, and there's so much more to express, but it's really hard to use language to express that. That's where I think poetry can be a really nice way of still using words, but doing them in such a creative way that it can convey something beyond normal speech. So yeah, I really just want to encourage you to be creative, even if it's just a very simple thing. You can be creative in the way that you walk. You might want to go for a walk in the forest. Maybe you skip a little bit. I don't know. It doesn't have to be something big. You don't have to create this big masterpiece of art. But I just want to invite you all to come into your heart and find what your heart wants to create. What does your heart most want to bring into this world? And do that. Even if it's just making one first small step. So I hope you all have a wonderful time creating, and thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Sending lots of love.